Please.
Good morning, Edith Bush for the Office of the State Attorney.
Good morning, Lakeisha Halen, Office of the Public Defender.
Thank you. Uh, 20 CF 12255.
Keep your hands up. There you go.
Sir,
Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning.
Yeah, sorry. Nicholas Sudol on behalf of John de Blasio.
Yes.
Your Honor, this comes in as a felony domestic violence. We've read it. We'll let the court make findings with regard to PC. Just to understand what we're asking for at this time, he does qualify for PTR. We are asking for a one-time return with regard to him collecting his truck as well as his clothes and materials that he needs for work. And we have, I have the address of his mother in Kissimmee where he will be staying during the pendency of this.
Okay. I do find that there was probable cause for the battery by strangulation, domestic violence. Mr. de Blasio, I will place you on pretrial release at this time. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You'll need to maintain a separate residence. You can return one time with the police to get your things if needed. You'll need to call the non-emergency number for the local police.
Okay.
And they'll instruct you on what you need to do. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. You're also not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription or any alcohol.
Yes, ma'am.
All right? Thank you, sir.
That's all I have, Your Honor. May I be excused?
You may.
It's
Good to
great to
see
see
you.
you.
Good morning, this is Dalia Romero, Spanish interpreter on the line, already sworn in today, Your Honor.
Great. Thank you.
One moment, Your Honor, I'm trying to connect.
Yes, we're BRC1, please.
I'm having some issues, Your Honor. It seems I'm speaking to her and it's not going through, or she cannot hear me.
Go ahead and try again, please.
No. Escucho bajito. Sí.
Can the volume can be adjusted for her? She says can barely hear the interpreter.
It's up as loud as it can go.
Okay.
It is a little low. It's a little low.
Yeah.
Se escucha un poco mejor.
She can hear, it's kind of low, Your Honor. I will ask if you could go a little bit slower than usual, please.
Sure, no problem. This is 20 CF 12303. Ma'am, please tell me your name.
¿Me dijiste? Annie Pacheco. Annie Pacheco.
Annie Pacheco.
Miss Pacheco, you were arrested for neglect of a child, battery, domestic violence, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender. Madam Interpreter, I think we should just do it over the PA because I can tell by her facial expressions that she can't hear you. Okay. Ms. Pacheco, you were arrested for neglect of a child,
Ay, no escribo.
Señora Pacheco, se le acusó de maltrato de menores,
battery domestic violence,
agresión, violencia doméstica
and contributing to the delinquency of a minor.
y haber contribuido a la delincuencia de un menor.
There is probable cause
Yo hallo que hay causas que respaldan la acusación.
I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
Yo le designo el defensor público para que les represente.
You're not to have any contact with the victim.
No puede tener ningún tipo de contacto con la víctima.
You are to maintain a separate residence.
Tiene que mantenerse viviendo separado de estas personas.
You're not to possess any weapons or firearms.
No puedes poseer ningún tipo de armas o armas de fuego.
You're not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a valid prescription.
No puede poseer o consumir ninguna sustancia controlada o alcohol y si no tiene una receta válida.
You're also to comply with any DCF request or investigation.
También tiene que cumplir con cualquier investigación del Departamento de Niños y Familia y entrevistas.
Your bond on count 1 is 500, your bond on count 2 is 100, your bond on count 3 is 100.
En la primera causa la fianza es 500, la segunda causa 100 y la tercera causa 100.
Thank you, ma'am.
Gracias, señora.
Firma o el nombre escrito.
Firma.
¿Ya?
Sir, good morning, your name?
Buenos días, señor. Su nombre, por favor.
Moisés Mercado González.
Moisés Mercado González.
This is 20 CF 12292. Sir, you were arrested for possession of heroin.
Señor, este es el caso 20 CF 12292. Se le arrestó por tenencia de heroína.
There is probable cause, and I'll appoint the public defender to represent you.
Hay causas que respaldan la acusación y se le designa el defensor público para que le represente.
Your bond is $1,000.
Su fianza es de $1,000.
That case provides the probable cause for your violation of probation in 18 CF 1700.
Ese caso respalda la causa en el caso de incumplimiento de probatoria en el 18 CF 1700.
Your bond is set at none.
En este momento la fianza es de 0 en ese caso.
I'll appoint the public defender,
Le voy a designar el defensor público
and you'll see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days.
y en los próximos de 7 a 10 días va a ir a ver al juez Whitehead.
Thank you, sir.
Gracias, señor.
Y
Good morning, your name?
Josué Báez.
Buenos días, su nombre.
Josué Báez, buenos días.
Josué Baez. Good morning.
This is 20 MM 7389. You were arrested for violation of a domestic injunction and obstructing or harassing in a misdemeanor proceeding.
Señor, este es el caso 20MM37389. Fue arrestado por incumplimiento de una orden de alejamiento y haber interrumpido un proceso legal.
There is probable cause.
Hay causas que respaldan la acusación.
I'll appoint the public defender.
Le designo el defensor público.
Your bond on count one is $1,500.
La fianza en el primer caso es de $1,500
Your bond on count two is $500.
y en la segunda causa es $500.
And you are to abide by the injunction in 18 DR 14361.
Y tiene que cumplir con las reglas de la orden de alejamiento en el caso 18 DR 14361.
Mr. Baez, did you have a question?
Señor Baez, ¿tiene una pregunta?
Sí, es que yo no tenía ninguna orden ninguna injunction. No sé qué injunction yo violé.
I didn't have an injunction. I do not know what injunction I did not comply with.
Sí, yo tenía una injunction en otro caso que están mintiendo, no ahora.
I had an injunction in another case that they're lying, not now.
All right, you'll have to talk with your lawyer about the different cases and the injunction, sir.
Señor, va a poder hablar con su abogado en cuanto a los diferentes casos y la orden de alejamiento. Eso es todo. Hable con su abogado.
Your Honor, the state doesn't recall if there was a no weapons contained within the injunction.
Okay, sir, you can't possess any weapons or firearms.
Señor, no puede poseer ningún tipo de armas blancas o armas de fuego.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Madam Interpreter, that's the last Spanish case. Thank you for your help.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Thank you.
Hi, good morning.
Hey, how you doing, Judge? I want them brought up on charges.
Okay, Ms. Paisley, just give me a second, okay? I'm going to explain why you're here and see if we can get this case resolved this morning, okay?
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. This is 20MM 7351. You were arrested for trespassing at the Wawa.
I'm not even going that way, Your Honor.
Okay. So
I
there's-
promise you.
All right, there's probable cause for that offense. Ms. Bush, you have an offer for Ms. Paisley?
Yes, Your Honor. It's an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, no return to the Wawa, no contact with witnesses, and abide by all trespass warnings and court costs.
All right, Ms.
promise.
Paisley, did you want to accept that?
What is that? Say, you say it to me, Judge.
All right, it's,
Because I speak your language.
Ms. Paisley, it's credit for time served. You can't go back to the Wawa. You have to abide by the trespass warning, and you can't have any contact with the witnesses from the case. Do you understand?
Yes, I understand totally. Is it okay for me to stay around here?
Well, sure, if you don't have a trespass warning.
Yeah, I'm homeless.
Okay. Did you have a chance to read the plea form this morning?
Don't stay.
Right there.
I don't know who that is.
Ms. Paisley, do you understand that if you enter a plea today, you're not going to have a trial on your case? You understand that?
Okay, can I sign, fill my name in right here?
No, you don't need to. But I do need you to put your mask up for me, please. It's got to cover your nose. Perfect. Ms. Paisley, you're not on probation, are you?
No.
Okay. And you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea would result in your deportation.
I'm a United States of American citizen, so what do that mean?
Okay. Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No.
All right. I'm going to accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 3 days in jail. You've got credit for 3 days time served. You can't go back to the Wawa. You'll need to abide by the trespass warning and not have contact with the witnesses. You'll also have to pay court costs due by October 13th of 2021, and you have 30 days to appeal, ma'am. Thank you.
I gotta stay in here 3 days.
No, you're done. You already did it.
I get out today?
Yep.
Oh, okay, because I was in here already.
Right.
Okay.
Okay,
'Cause I
thank
didn't mind
you.
staying here 3 days. I like it here. It's that rain. I can't deal with that.
This one is.
Ms. Paisley,
You don't know about that acid rain. It's wrong. I was telling them people about that acid rain.
right. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name.
Algie Simmons.
All right, I don't know why Mr. Simmons is here. Do you understand? I don't know why Mr. Simmons is here. No, Simmons.
Your Honor, oh, I apologize. No, you go ahead. I'm guessing someone must have scheduled him to come in for the juvenile case, but I wouldn't know why.
So he has 2 felony cases. Well, now only one, because there's 12131, which is the new law offense that he was arrested for when I saw him.
Mm-hmm.
And then he was on pretrial release in the CF 6673, which is actually now 1542 CJ. So it's a juvenile case. So I'm wondering if they want me to release the hold for the juvenile, because it's a juvenile case now, because he would be taken to the JDC and they'd have a hearing on that. He'd have to bond on the CF case, the 12131.
Yeah, he bonded on
He
that one.
bonded on the 12131. And then I think what they're probably wanting is that, because it's no longer, I revoked the bond on the felony case, but there is no felony case anymore. It's a CJ case. And there are no bonds in CJ cases. It's determined by the risk assessment instrument. So I'm wondering if that's what they want, is to be able to come pick him up and take him to the JDC.
I'm guessing, let me,
This is the one from the other day that it was just strange that they
Oh,
wanted
okay.
it transferred to juvenile
there's, it's
because he's
stating,
already in the adult system.
that JDC will not transport him due to his age. So I guess to release the detainer for him so that he can bond out. That's what I've just been advised.
Ms. Bush, do you know why your office filed the motion?
I do not, Your Honor, but I
Okay.
can, if we can revisit this in second session, I can
Yeah.
certainly look into it. This is the first time I've encountered a reverse of transferring to juvenile court. Because unless the rules have changed, the juvenile facility is not going to accept him. Actually, they can't.
Why? I thought that the jurisdiction was until they're 19.
The jurisdiction is until they're 19, but once he's already been in the adult system
Okay.
and
So 9/13/01 is the birthday.
but I'm making those statements based off of memory.
So this case, though, this in 20 CF 6673, the offense date is August 18th of 2019. So he would have been a juvenile at the time of those offenses. Interesting, okay.
Yes, but there's still a but at the end of that, but if the court wishes, I'll check with Miss ASA Korak,
Okay.
and then if I get a response before the end of this session, I'll let the court know.
That would be great. Okay, Mr. Simmons, I just need some more information on your case. All right, I'm going to recall it here in a little bit. Thank you. Because I think I would just have to release him. Okay. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Daniel Gaskin.
Mr. Gaskin, sir, you're here in 20 CF 12278. You were arrested for aggravated battery and criminal mischief.
Yes, ma'am.
There is probable cause, sir. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Yes, ma'am.
Your bond on count 1 is going to be $3,500. Bond on count 2 will be $100. You are not to have any contact with the victim.
Yes, ma'am.
You're to maintain a separate residence. You may have a one-time return with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. Do you have a question?
Yes, ma'am. I live there, so I could ask the police to stand by to get my stuff out of the house, and that's all.
Right, so you'll call the non-emergency number for
Yes,
your
ma'am.
local police department, and then they'll be able to tell you what you need to do.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay? Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Good morning, your name?
Good morning, Ingrid Angel.
Ma'am, you're here in 20 CF 12256. You were arrested for aggravated battery and for battery. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with the police to get your things. And you're not to possess any weapons or firearms.
Excuse me, I'm living there, so can I go for my stuff?
Right, you can go one time with the police,
Okay, perfect.
okay? Bond on count 1 will be $1,000. Bond on count 2 is $100. Thank you, ma'am. Good morning, sir. Your name?
Miguel Licona.
Mr. Lacona, this is 20 CF 12302. You were arrested for robbery, sudden snatching, battery, and resisting officer without violence. There is probable cause. Mr. Lacona, your affidavit seeking the appointment of the public defender indicates that you make $700 per week. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. I just started working. I'm homeless, and I just started working about last week, and then, yeah, my dad's incarcerated, and I was just trying to, I gotta feed my sisters and stuff. I gotta
I'm going to
pay.
appoint the public defender to represent you, sir, based upon your testimony in court today.
Yeah.
You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You
I'll
are
stay
not
in
to
Lake
possess
County.
any weapons or firearms.
Already gave me that paper.
Bond on count 1 is $1,000. Bond on count 2 is $100. Bond on count 3 is $100. Yes. Thank you, Mr. Lacona.
This is my bond.
Good morning, your name?
Pablo Reyna.
Mr. Reyna, this is 20 CF 12304. You were arrested for battery on a person over 65 and for battery. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Is there a victim for Mr. Reyna?
I believe so.
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Who's here for Mr. Reyna?
I think she is.
Good morning, ma'am.
Morning.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Really do. Yeah, I can hear you.
All right, ma'am. Good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Savia Munoz.
All right, Ms. Munoz, please raise your right hand to be sworn in.
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Ms. Munoz, do you want to have contact with Mr. Reyna? Do you want to have contact with Mr. Reyna?
With my son?
Yes.
Or because he's Reina too?
No, here, the defendant.
Oh, yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No, at this moment.
Pardon me?
I'm not afraid. I'm not afraid at this moment.
Okay, well, in general, are you afraid of him? If I were to allow him to have contact with you or to return home, would you be fearful for your safety?
No.
And does your son live with you?
Did he live with me?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. He's planned to move out very soon by himself.
Have there been any other instances of violence between the two of you while he's been living with you?
No violence, but he need to tolerate me or just counseling. He need to tolerate that, but no violence. But the tolerance need to be a little higher.
All right, thank you, ma'am. Ms. Bush, do you have any questions?
Yes, Your Honor, thank you. Ms. Munoz?
Yes,
If
ma'am.
something like this were to happen again, and you felt that you or anybody in the home was in danger, would you call the police?
Yes.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Haling?
No questions, Your Honor.
Sir, you're not to have any hostile contact with your mom. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, Your Honor.
You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Thank
Thank
you,
you,
Your Honor.
ma'am. He'll be released later today.
Thank you.
You're finished, ma'am. Thank you very much. You can leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
Sir, good morning. Your name?
Michael Rodriguez.
Mr. Rodriguez, you have two cases. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you on both. In 20 CF 12261, you were arrested for burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery, domestic violence, and criminal mischief. This was pursuant to a probable cause warrant. Ms. Bush, were you asking to be heard as to bond on count one?
Yes, Your Honor. The state would ask the court to take into consideration the affidavit to issue the arrest warrant. The facts contained within that affidavit, the state believes, rise to the level of proof evident or presumption great that Mr. Rodriguez is the person that did burglarize the victim's home, did commit multiple batteries once he entered the victim's home. The state would ask the court to hold him at no bond as to count one, burglary of a dwelling with an assault or battery therein.
Thank you. Ms. Haling?
Your Honor, we defer to the court.
All right, so I do not believe that the state's met their burden to establish that there is proof evident or presumption great based upon the information in the affidavit. Mr. Rodriguez, your bond on count one will be $20,000. Bond on count two is $100. Bond on count three is $100. You are not to return to the scene. You are not to have any contact with either of the victims. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms, sir. You have 20 CF 12263. You were arrested for grand theft of a motor vehicle pursuant to a warrant. Your bond is $2,500, sir. Thank you. Good morning. Your name?
Dayani Alvarado.
Ms. Alvarado, this is 20 MM 7388. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
Savannah Broadwater.
Ms. Broadwater, I just need you to pull your mask up for me, please. Thank you very much. Would you raise your right hand to be sworn in?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Ma'am, did you want to have contact with Ms. Alvarado?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you afraid of her?
No, ma'am.
Do you have any concerns about your safety if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
I apologize. I didn't catch.
Do you have any concerns about your safety if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
No, ma'am.
And during the course of your relationship, have there been any instances of violence between the two of you?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Bush, any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Haling?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Alvarado, you're not to have any hostile contact with Ms. Broadwater. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, ma'am.
You are not to, thank you. You are not to possess any weapons or firearms, and I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time.
Okay.
Thank
Your
you.
Honor,
Thank
may
you.
we have a no return to the DoubleTree? And
Ma'am,
abide
you're
by
also
trespass warning.
not to return to the DoubleTree.
Okay.
Okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. You're finished.
Thank you. Have a great day.
You too. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Reginald Craig.
Mr. Craig, this is 20MM 7383. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Ma'am, good morning. Tell me your name, please.
Monica Street.
Ms. Street, would you raise your right hand, please, to be sworn in?
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I can't hear you.
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Ms. Street, do you want to have contact with Mr. Craig?
Yes.
Are you afraid of him?
No.
Do you have any concerns about your safety or your children's safety if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
No.
During the course of your relationship, have there been instances of violence between the two of you?
No.
Pardon me?
No. There's been violence, but it was against me.
You mean you against him?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you all live together?
Yes. And we have 4 children. And he watches them when I go to work. So.
Okay. Ms. Bush, did you have any questions?
Yes, Ms. Street, how long have you been in a relationship with Mr. Craig?
Almost 9 years.
9 years? And I know the judge asked this earlier, but over the course of those 9 years, even if it wasn't prosecuted to the fullest, has law enforcement been called because of domestic violence?
Yes.
And do you recall how long ago that was?
Probably like 4 or 5 years ago.
And if something like this incident or the prior incident were to occur again, would you be comfortable calling law enforcement?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you believe that alcohol or any controlled substance contributed to his behavior?
No, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Ms. Haley?
No questions, Your Honor.
Right. Mr. Craig, you're not to have any hostile contact with Ms. Street. Do you understand what that means?
Say that again?
You're not to have any hostile contact.
Okay.
You're also not to possess any weapons or firearms, and I'll place you on pretrial release. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ms. Street.
Thank you, ma'am. Excuse me.
Yes?
I have a question.
Sure.
Well, that means he gets on pretrial release. He doesn't need a bond, right?
That's right.
Correct. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Artasia Johnson.
Ms. Johnson, you're here in 20 MM 7379. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. You're to maintain a separate residence. You may return one time with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. I'm going to place you on pretrial release. Do you have any questions?
No, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Tierra Lattimore.
Miss Lattimore, you're here in 20 MM 7372. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. You are not to have any contact with the victim. You are to maintain a separate residence. You may have a one-time return with the police to get your things if needed. You're not to possess any weapons or firearms. And then, Miss Lattimore, I'm going to place you on pretrial release. Do you have any questions?
No.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Oscar Perez.
Mr. Perez, this is 20 MM 7385. You were arrested for battery domestic violence. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Could you
Ms.
tell me
Honor.
your name, please?
My name is Esther Feliciano.
All right. And you're his mother, is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay. Ma'am, do you want to have contact with your son?
Yes, I would like to have contact with my son.
Okay. Are you afraid of him?
No, I'm not.
Does he live with you?
Temporary.
Do you have any concerns about your safety or anyone else's safety in the home if I were to allow him to return and have contact
No,
with you?
not at all.
Okay. Ms. Bush, do you have any questions?
Good morning, Ms. Feliciano.
Good morning.
Ms. Feliciano, do you believe that alcohol or any kind of controlled substance contributed to your son's behavior?
Yes.
Do you also believe, well, let me ask this. To your knowledge, is your son on any medication, prescribed medication?
Yes, my son has a history of mental health for 18 years in Puerto Rico. And he's been here 6 months. He's been on and off medication, and he's been using drugs and alcohol. I'm a social worker, I'm a pastor, and I'm watching out for him because he doesn't have nobody here in the state of Orlando, in Florida. And I want help for him. I want therapy, psychologist, management of behavior, because he needs a lot of help.
Yes,
and I'm going
ma'am.
to help him because we're
And-
here to help.
And that juncture will occur possibly down the road as the case progresses. But for purposes of today, do you believe that his not taking properly his prescribed medication may have also contributed to his behavior?
Yes.
I have no further questions.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, ma'am.
No questions, Your Honor.
All right, sir. You are not to have any hostile contact with your mom. Do you understand what that means?
Yes.
You are not to possess any weapons or firearms. You are not to possess or consume any controlled substances without a valid prescription or any alcohol. You're also to follow any recommendations of your doctors and take your medication as prescribed. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
I'm going to place you on pretrial release at this time, sir. Anything else, ma'am?
Thank you so much, Your Honor. God bless you all.
You're welcome, ma'am. Have a nice
ma'am.
day.
You too, sweetie.
And that's it.
Good morning, your name?
Robertine So Frank.
This is case number 20MM7359. You were arrested for battery, dating violence. There is probable cause. I will appoint the public defender to represent you in each case. Good morning. Could you please raise your right hand to be sworn in?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Tell me your name, please. Tell me your name, please.
Joshua Atwell?
Mr. Atwell, do you want to have contact with Ms. Sulfurnak?
Yes.
And are you afraid of her?
No.
Do you have any concerns about your safety if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
No, ma'am.
And during the course of your relationship, have there been other instances of violence between the two of you?
No, ma'am.
Ms. Bush, do you have any questions?
No, Your Honor, thank you.
Ms. Haling?
No questions, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Salfrank, I'm going to order that you're not to have any hostile contact with Mr. Atwell. Do you understand what that means?
No, ma'am.
It means that you are not to act aggressively toward him in any way. You're not to argue with him and you're not to fight. Do you understand?
Okay.
You're also not to possess any weapons or firearms. I'm going to place you on pretrial release, and I'm actually going to do that in this case and 20 CT 3393, where you failed to appear for court on a driving while license suspended case.
Okay.
You failed to appear for pretrial conference. I'm going to give you that court date where you need to appear.
Yeah, I never got a letter for that.
What division is that?
Johnson is 61.
61, thank you. Your next court date is going to be December 7th at 8:30 a.m., courtroom 6B. It's Judge Johnson. Okay?
Thank
you,
you.
ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Oh, Stephanie Wanish.
Miss Wanish, this is 20MM7387. You were arrested for battery, domestic violence. There's probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you. Sir, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me your name, please.
William Elabash.
All right. And sir, could you please raise your right hand to be sworn in?
You swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Sir, do you want to have contact with Miss Wanish?
I'm sorry?
Do you want to have contact with Miss Wanish?
Yes, I do. Yes.
Are you afraid of her?
No.
Do you have any concerns about your safety or your child's safety if I were to allow contact between the two of you?
Absolutely not. No.
Have there been other instances of violence between the two of you during the course of your relationship?
No, never.
All right. Ms. Bush, do you have any questions?
Sir, over here.
I'm sorry.
Do you believe that alcohol or any kind of controlled substance contributed to her behavior?
Yes, it was just a little bit of alcohol. We were drinking at Disney Springs. So yes, it was just alcohol.
Okay.
Just some.
And to your knowledge, was DCF contacted in this case?
I don't believe so, no.
All right. I have no further questions. Thank you, sir.
No questions, Your Honor.
Ms. Wanish, you're not to have any hostile contact. Do you understand what that means?
Yes, ma'am.
You're also not to possess any weapons or firearms. You're also not to possess or consume any alcohol or controlled substances without a valid prescription. I will place you on pretrial release at this time, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Is that the baby? Oh. That's my kid. Good morning. Your name?
Jacquez Atkins.
Mr. Atkins, you are here in 20 CT 5919. You failed to appear for driving without a valid driver's license. Oh, thank you very much. You failed to appear for arraignment. I'll appoint the public defender to represent you. Ms. Bush, did you have an offer for Mr. Atkins in that case?
Your Honor, if I may have, I just want to make sure it's not connected with
Sure.
another case.
I don't think it is, because the case, out on bond case is a 2018 case.
The state's offer would be an adjudication of guilt and credit time served, don't drive without a valid driver's license, and court costs.
Mr. Atkins, did you want to take that plea?
May I have a moment?
Sure. Sure.
Your Honor, Mr. Atkins doesn't want to resolve his case this morning.
Sure. Mr. Atkins, your bond is $500. I'm not going to take any action on the out on bond case. Thank you, sir. Good morning. Your name?
You said what, miss?
What's your name?
Hugo.
Correa?
Barajas.
Okay, sir. You here in 20 CT 889, you were arrested for driving without a valid driver's license. There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Mr. Carrera Barra on both of the driving cases?
Yes, Your Honor. Both of them are an adjudication of guilt, credit time served, and in 2020 CT 0616AE, there is a cost of investigation to the Maitland Police Department in the amount of $129.77. And in both cases, do not drive without a valid driver's license and court costs.
Right. Sir, did you want to accept the offers?
What were the offers again?
In each case, you'd be adjudicated guilty, given credit for time served. You have to pay court costs, including the cost of investigation to the Maitland Police Department.
So I'd have to serve time, basically?
No, you'll be released today.
Okay.
Is that what you want to do?
Yes.
Did you read the plea form?
Yes, I did.
Do you have any questions about the rights you're giving up?
No, not
Are you-
at the moment.
Well, this is your time to ask. So do you have any questions or not?
No.
Okay. Are you on probation?
No.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Yes.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
All right, sir. I'll accept your plea in both cases, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in 889 with credit for 2 days' time served, and sentence you to 1 day in 616 with credit for time served. You'll have to pay court costs in each case. The cases will run concurrent to one another. In 616, your court costs will include $129.77 to the Maitland Police Department. All of those costs will be due by October 13th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing, sir.
You said
Okay, so, sir, the case that you're out on bond for, you paid a cash bond, I was told. So that will be applied to your court costs, and you'll be able to contact the clerk's office and get an accurate balance of what you are left owing.
okay.
Okay?
Now, I do have one question. For the prior ticket before, I've been waiting to get a court date. Does this count as that, or do I still have to keep calling to
Nope,
make?
you're done.
Okay. So basically, the time I'm gonna serve, it'll all be behind me. I don't have to keep calling, seeing if I have to come to court, something. Because the last thing I want is a warrant or anything.
Nope, you're
Just want
done.
it behind
Both
me.
of the cases are over today,
Okay.
and you're finished.
One question. Since I bailed out the last time,
Mhm.
whatever goes to you guys for court costs or whatever, do I still get some of that back?
I don't know what your bond was.
It was $1,000.
Um,
He's gonna get it, they might apply it to all his cases across the board.
yeah, I don't know how that, you'll have to contact the clerk's office to see how that works. I don't know because your cases, I don't know if you have any other cases. I really don't have an answer for you for that, okay? You have to
Okay.
talk to the clerk.
Okay.
All right, thank you. Ma'am, good morning. Your name?
Antoinette Fields.
Ma'am, you are here, you have two cases. You failed to appear in 19 CT 3883 and in 19 CT 9024. One is a driving while license suspended or revoked, and one is a no valid driver's license. This would be your first conviction for driving while license suspended.
Yeah, can I say something?
Ms. Bush, did you have an offer?
Yes, Your Honor, I just need to check the failure to appear. Yeah. And also to see whether or not she wishes to get a valid license.
Sure.
Rather than plea.
Yeah.
And Your Honor, it would be an adjudication in both cases, credit time served, don't drive without a valid.
Ms. Henning, did you hear the offer?
Adjudication guilt, credit for time served, no driving without a valid driver's license. Your Honor, my only caution, and Ms. Fields has advised me that this wouldn't affect her probation, but that would be my only caution. However, Ms. Fields said that she wants to resolve her case. She said this wouldn't affect her probation. I personally just don't have the information for that.
Let me see.
Yeah, because I'm not.
And Your Honor, looking at her driving history, the state would amend 2019 CT 9024, Ori Tennis Amendment to no valid driver's license.
Okay.
I don't see where she had a driver's license. I'm only seeing ID cards.
Well, the ticket in 19 CT 3883 is after her supervision date began. She was placed on probation on March 4th of 2019, and then this ticket she got on May 23rd of 2019. So I don't know what effect that would have on your probation. I don't know what they're gonna do, ma'am. So I don't think it's in her best interest to take a plea today unless she's spoken with her probation officer about that.
Yes, Your Honor. May I have just a moment?
Sure. Looks like she already entered a plea though, so the court date she missed was for plea and sentence.
Yes, Your Honor. I just can't find any information as to what that was. The last note I see is that there was still only an ID number.
Okay. Right, and 19 CT 3883, I'm gonna reduce the bond to $500, and then bond in 19 CT 9024 is $500. Ms. Field, you're gonna wanna talk to your probation officer about those cases and see what effect, if any, they're gonna have on your probation.
Yeah, because the thing is, I haven't even been driving at all. And when I went to court, those twice times,
Yeah.
he was supposed to put those two cases together.
Okay.
Because I haven't even been driving. And that's what I wanted to say. Like, I'm not driving at all, and I'm not trying to get my license. So that's why I said I don't want to keep coming back and forth to court for the
Sure.
same thing when I'm not driving at all, period.
Right, so you're gonna need, like I said though, the issue I have today is I don't wanna take a plea and have that violate your felony probation, okay?
Okay, so okay, but I'll be.
Oh, I do need to give her some dates though. It's the same, it's June, right? Yeah. So, ma'am, your next court date is gonna be November 12th at 9 a.m. It's courtroom 9B. You have Judge Cameron.
See, the thing is, I had him last time, and then when I tried to talk to him and tell him that,
Yeah, and I apologize.
And did you want to keep the amendment that the state made to amend this to no valid?
No, it's not our case.
Because I know she amended it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Sure. Good morning, ma'am.
Good morning.
Tell me your name.
Delia Rivera.
Ms. Rivera, this is 20 CT 4800. You failed to appear for pretrial related to driving without a valid driver's license. Ms. Bush, is there an offer for Ms. Rivera?
May I have I just wanted to look at her
Record.
Your Honor. And the state's offer would be an adjudication, credit time served, and court costs.
Ms. Rivera, did you want to take the offer from the state today?
Could you say that again, please?
The offer is an adjudication of guilt, credit for time served, and court costs. Did you want to accept the offer?
To stay longer, you're saying?
Yeah, we may have a moment.
Sure, thank you.
Sorry.
Your Honor, thank you. Ms. Rivera wants to take the offer.
All right, Ms. Rivera, did you read the plea form, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights that you're giving up?
No.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or
Nope.
medication?
Nada.
All right. I will accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 2 days in jail. You've got credit for 2 days time served. You'll have to pay court costs, which will be due by October 13th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court in writing.
So, 2 days I will be released today?
That's right.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you, ma'am.
All right.
Yes. Mr. Demps?
He's medical, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Haley, do you want to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Demps is going to be in the rotation division. That's Judge Gibson. Division 80, pretrial conference, December 2nd at 9 a.m., courtroom 9C.
And Your Honor, are we on arraignment?
Yes.
Grant is also medical.
Ms. Haley, do you want to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's going to be reassigned to Division 61, pretrial conference, December 7th at 8:30 a.m., courtroom 6B. Mr. Rivera?
How you doing, Your Honor?
Good, thank you. This is 20 MM 370. This is your arraignment for the offense of petty theft. Ms. Haley, how would he like to proceed?
Your Honor, may I have just a moment?
Sure.
Thank you. Thank you, Your Honor. The state's offer is an adjudication guilt, 60 days Orange County Jail, no contact with any victims or witnesses, no return to the target at 3343 Daniels Road in Winter Garden, abide by the trespass warning, and restitution of $5.37 court costs. And Mr. Rivera wants to plead no contest and accept the state's offer today.
All right, I'm sorry, it was 60 days?
Yes, Your Honor.
No return, and then restitution was $5.37?
Yes, Your Honor.
No contact with witnesses?
Yes.
Got it.
I have 46 days. Is that what the court has?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Mr. Rivera, did you read the plea form, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you have any questions about any of the rights you're giving up?
No, ma'am.
Are you on probation?
No, ma'am.
Do you understand that if you're not a U.S. citizen, this plea will result in your deportation?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of any drugs, alcohol, or medication?
No, ma'am.
I'll accept your plea, adjudicate you guilty, sentence you to 60 days in jail. You've got credit for 46 days time served. You will have to pay court costs, which will include your restitution amount of $5.37. You're not to return to the scene or have any contact with the witnesses. Your court costs will be due by October 13th of 2021. You have 30 days to appeal the judgment and sentence of the court, sir.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Sure.
So that bond on that case is revoked, so now will it still be revoked?
No, the case is over.
Okay, so now I only have, okay, perfect.
Okay?
Thank you so much,
you.
ma'am. All right, you good? Have a good day.
You too. Good afternoon, your name? Or good morning, your name?
Good morning. My name is Algie Simmons.
What is it?
Algie Simmons.
Oh, Mr. Simmons is back.
And Your Honor, I haven't had an opportunity to.
Your Honor, did Jill forward you a email?
Let me see. Yeah. Okay, I understand. So right now, in terms of the jail, he's being held on 6673, is that right?
Yes, Your
So I just need to release that hold? Okay, I can do that, I'll do that. So, Mr. Simmons, that case still exists, it's just a juvenile case, do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
So you're gonna wanna get in touch with the public defender when you're released. I'll have you do that within 24 hours of your release from custody. That way you know what's going on with the juvenile case and you don't miss court and get a custody order.
So you'll give me my public defender number?
Ms. Haling will hand it to you. No, the hold's just released. No, the case doesn't exist anymore. The case could be closed out. Okay.
So, Your Honor, I will not send this to
Okay. Thank you, Ms. Bush. I got an email from
the jail.
the jail. And then how about Mr. Roderick? Or Miss Roderick? Refusal?
Yes.
All right, well, I'm going to appoint the public defender for Miss Roderick's case. Do you want to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your
Ms. Haling? All right, that's going to be a Division 82 case, pretrial conference, November 9th, 10:30 a.m., courtroom 10B. And then Lester Starling.
Medical.
All right, Ms. Haling, do you want to enter a plea of not guilty?
Yes, Your Honor.
Starling is going to be Division 63, pretrial conference, November 19th, 8:30 a.m., courtroom 12C. All right. Anything else from the state or the defense?
Nothing further, Your
All
Honor.
right. Oh, do we have any 33-day motions?
33-day.
Oh, okay. That's all right. Just didn't see him here. Were you ready on those, Ms. Bush?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. 20 MM 6242 Aaron Collins.
I just have to find it on the list, Your Honor. 42. Notice of non-filing on October 12th.
That'll be granted. 20 CF 11000 Ian Grant.
Notice of non-filing on, notice of non-filing, Your Honor.
Thank you. Twenty CF 10998 Ian Grant.
Notice of non-filing on October 12th.
That'll be granted. Twenty CF 10621 Kenneth Hardy.
Notice of non-filing October 12th.
That will be granted. Twenty CF 10861 Trevor Harper.
Notice of non-filing October 12th.
That will be granted. 20 CF 10913 Jose Marty.
Notice of non-filing on October 12th.
Granted. 20 CF 9721 Jerome Wilkerson.
Notice of non-filing October 12th.
That will be granted. All right, now is there anything else?
We have one more.
We do?
Vietnamese.
Who?
Vietnamese.
Oh, yes, okay, I didn't see it in the set.
And did Your Honor?
Good
I've
catch,
got-
everyone.
I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 more 33 days on my list.
We only got the.
I don't have the orders.
Okay.
Your Honor, I just have some orders, so I'm not sure if these are the orders that I was provided.
The clerk's office is saying they didn't receive any additional orders.
Your Honor, I believe I have the orders for those cases if you wanted them.
Okay, okay.
Okay. May I vote?
Sure. Ms. Bush, oh, well,
I have 4 additional.
what are the names?
The names, there are 1, 2, 3 for Ian Grant.
We just did 2 for Mr. Grant. So what's the case numbers?
I've got 11001,
Okay, we didn't do that one.
and then I have 003 and 002.
All right, I have both of those here. Okay, so if you want to run through those?
Yes, Your Honor. And all of those are notices of non-filing on October 12th.
All right, so 20 CF 11001 Ian Grant will be granted. 20 CF 11003 Ian Grant will be granted. And 20 CF 11002 Ian Grant will be granted.
And the last one that I have is Jose Antonio Marti, 2020 CF 10011 AO.
She said Marcy? We did that one. We did that one.
Oh, we did that one?
Hold on.
I didn't hear that.
10913?
I didn't hear it.
No, that's a different case number.
Yeah, the only Jose Marti I have is, well, I have 2 for him. I've got 20 CF 10011 and 20 CF 10913.
And I heard the 913, I did not hear the 10011.
We have the 10913.
Okay, so how about 20 CF 10011?
That's the case number that they put on the docket sheet. The 93 was not on the docket sheet. I think it's gonna.
Are both of?
I had both of the case numbers.
Okay. So I already entered an order on 10913. And then how about you give me the information for 20 CF 10011?
Notice of non-filing, October 12th.
All right, that'll be granted. Now, did we do all of the 33 day?
Yes, Your
Yes,
Honor.
okay. Great. Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm just waiting for the defendant to come forward, and then I'll call the case.
Thank you.
Sir, good morning. Please tell me your name.
Hello, dạ xin chào quý vị. Xin vui lòng cho biết tên ạ.
Lan Nguyên. My name is
Lan Nguyên.
Yeah.
This is case number 20MM871. Sir, you were arrested for petty theft.
Dạ thưa chú, đây là trường hợp 20MN81. Chú đã bị bắt là bởi vì chú ăn cắp ăn trộm đó ạ.
There is probable cause. I'm going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
Ở đây có thể có nguyên nhân có thể xảy ra, do đó tôi sẽ
coi như là đưa cho chú một người luật sư, bổ nhiệm một người luật sư.
Yes.
You are not to return to the Walmart?
I'm sorry, Your Honor, can you repeat that one more time, please?
Yes, he's not to return to Walmart?
Chú không có bị phạt cho đến kỳ tới là Walmart.
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen, where are you living?
Chú Nguyễn, chú hiện nay đang ở đâu?
Dạ, chú đang ở collection homeless.
Collection homeless.
Do you have a place that you get mail?
Yes.
Chú có nơi nào để đến nhận thơ không vậy chú?
Yes.
Mr. Nguyen, pull your mask up for me, would you? Thank you, sir.
Có.
Yes, I do.
Tell me your address, please.
Làm ơn cho biết địa chỉ ạ.
Địa chỉ là 18 Terry Avenue.
So, the coalition?
Yes.
Do you have access to a phone?
Chú có điện thoại không?
Có.
Yes, I do.
What's your phone number?
Số điện thoại của chú là số mấy?
407 984 8618.
Xin lỗi chú nói lại, điện thoại nó bị cắt ra 407 gì nữa ạ?
984 8618.
Cảm ơn chú. It is 407 984 8618.
Ms. Hanley, you have that information?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Nguyen, I'm going to release you on your own recognizance at this time.
Chú Nguyễn, lần này tôi sẽ thả chú do cái điều kiện của chú.
Dạ, cảm ơn. Thank you.
Thank you.
You must appear in court on your scheduled day.
Yes.
Chú phải có mặt ở tòa án vào cái ngày mà họ ra hạn cho chú.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to take any action on your notice of appearance case, but make sure you appear in court for that case too.
Và tôi sẽ không có gọi là hành sự về bất cứ một cái điều gì trong hồ sơ của chú, nhưng mà chú phải có mặt buổi quan tòa đó.
Yeah. Yes. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Nguyen.
Thank you.
Cảm ơn chú Nguyễn.
All right, thank you, Madam Interpreter.
You're welcome, Your Honor. Thank you for choosing our service. Have a good day.
You too. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
I'm afraid to ask. Is there anything else? No, okay. I think court will be in recess. All right, Ms. Griffith, your bond is $500. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
count 2 and count 1 of that will be 2,000 and the second count and count 2 will be 500. Bond on count 3 is 100, bond on count 4 is 100. You're not to return to the scene. I'm also, it's not working?
And Your Honor, just for clarification on the enumerated count 4 resisting officer, my affidavit shows with violence as opposed to without violence.
Thank you, Ms. Bush. It would be 150. Thank you. No, it's 100, 500, 2,000, 100, 150. Are we good? Okay. Mr. Hayes, I'm revoking your pretrial release in 20 MM 485. In that matter, your bond is going to be set at none, sir. Thank you. Sir, good morning. Your name?
Hakeem Hudson.
Mr. Hudson, sir, you are here in 20 CF 3597. You failed to appear for court. Your bond is $5,000. I'll appoint the public defender if they weren't previously appointed. Thank you.
He also has reporting requirements, Your Honor.
Yes, that's right. Mr. Hudson, you have reporting requirements when you are released from the jail. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? Yes?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Good morning, your name?
Demetrius Carey.
Mr. Carey.
Yes.
This is 20 CF 12286 and 20 CF 12285. You were arrested for criminal mischief.
Yeah.
There is probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender in each case. And 12285, your bond is $1,000, and 12286, your bond is $500. You're not to have any contact with the victims or return to the scene. I'm revoking the bond in the out on bond cases. Those bonds will be set at none, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, sir. Your name?
John King.
Mr. King, you're here in 20 CF 12297. You were arrested for driving while license suspended as a habitual offender. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond is $1,000, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon, your name?
Charles Malik.
Mr. Milik, this is 20 CF 12252. You were arrested for possession of MDMA. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. Your bond is $1,000, sir. And in 20 MM 5651, you failed to appear for court. Your bond on count 1 is $1,000. Your bond on count 2 is $500. I'm not going to take any action on your out on bond case, sir. Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name, sir?
I'm Nakeith Peon Payne Jr.
Mr. Payne, this is 20 CF 12305. You were arrested for burglary of an occupied conveyance. There's probable cause. I'll appoint the public defender. You're not to return to the scene or have contact with the victim. Your bond is $1,000. I'm revoking the bond. In each of the out on bond cases, those bonds will be set at none, sir. Thank you.
I have no one now?
You cannot bond out right now. No. Thank you.
Your Honor, may I have a moment?
Sure.
Thank you, Your Honor.
All right. Your name, please?
Cecily Diane Pearson.
Ms. Pearson, this is 20 CF 12275. You were arrested pursuant to a warrant for grand theft in the first degree, $100,000 or more, fraudulent use of personal identification information, and scheming to defraud greater than $50,000. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You're not to have any contact with the victim. Your bond on count 1 is going to be $50,000. Your bond on count 2 is $10,000. Your bond on count 3 is $10,000. Thank you, ma'am.
Can I have a question? Is they still holding me with a no bond for the VOP? Because I contacted Georgia and they said that they wasn't coming to get me, so I'm still just being held for no reason.
I don't have any information on the Georgia VOP.
She's still being held under no bond.
You're still being held on that.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, your name?
My name is Ralph Enrique Aquiles.
Sir, you have 2 cases. I will appoint the public defender in the event that they weren't previously appointed. In 20 CF 5725, you failed to appear for court. Your bond is set at none. And in 19 CT 8025, you also have failed to appear for court. And in that matter, your bond is set at none, sir. For a virtual violation of probation status hearing. Do we need to reset that, the VOP hearing? Okay. So in 19 CT 8025, that's the DUI with property damage. You were supposed to appear at a violation of probation hearing. What division is that? 81. 81. And that's Judge McGinnis's division. Your VOP date will be November 30th at 9 a.m., courtroom 4E. Thank you, sir.
So what about the case?
How about Mr. Soto Rosa?
He's a Spanish interpreter case this morning, Judge, but he is also mental health.
Okay.
I don't think I can on this, though.
I see, okay. Miss Haling, I'll appoint your office to represent him. Do you want to waive his appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's 20 CF 11991. He was arrested for lewd and lascivious exhibition and indecent exposure pursuant to a warrant. Bond on count 1 is 1,000. Bond on count 2 is 100. Ma'am, good afternoon. Your name?
Anna Vargas.
Ms. Vargas, you're here in 20 CF 12289. You were arrested for fleeing and eluding, resisting officer without violence, and failing to obey the police or fire department.
Yes, Honor.
There is probable cause. I am going to appoint the public defender to represent you.
What does that mean?
Your bond on count 1 is $1,500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. Your bond on count 3 is $100.
I want a lie detector test because I have my seatbelt on.
Okay, you'll have to talk with your lawyer about your strategy for your case, ma'am. Thank you.
I had the seatbelt on. I don't know why they're doing this to me. It's not my son.
Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
Felipe Way.
Mr. Way, this is 20 CF 12295. You were arrested for burglary of a conveyance and exposure of sexual organs. Your bond on count 1 is $3,500. Your bond on count 2 is $100. You're not to return to the scene, sir.
I'm
Thank
sorry, not for charged on what?
You what?
You said I can't return to the scene?
That's right, to the car rental place.
Is there an offer from the plea?
No,
Offer from the
sir.
state?
No, this is a felony. You're gonna have to talk with a lawyer about it. You can't resolve it today. Thank you.
Thank you. Good evening.
Sir, good afternoon. Your name?
State your name.
Oh, James Hill.
Mr. Hill, this is 14 CF 7804. It's alleged that you have violated your probation by not following the rules of electronic monitoring. Your bond is set at none, sir. I will appoint the public defender to represent you. You'll see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days, sir.
Thank you.
You have reporting requirements when you're released from the jail as well, sir. There are 2 cases? Just a second. I think Mr. Hill may have 2 cases. I don't have another one.
I'm sorry.
No? Okay. We're finished. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you.
Good afternoon. Your name?
My name is Francisco Luis Navarro, ma'am.
All right. And how about Mr. Martinez?
He's medical, y'all.
All right. Mr. Navarro, you are here in case number 13 CF 15351. It's alleged that you violated your probation by committing a new case in 20 MM 7338, resisting officer without violence, and 20 MM 339. There's probable cause for the violation of probation, sir. Your bond will be set at none. I'll appoint the public defender, and you're going to see Judge Whitehead in the next 7 to 10 days.
7 to 10 days?
Yep.
That's all I worry about. Thank you. Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you, ma'am. You have a nice day.
And then Mr. Martinez is medical. I'll appoint the public defender. Miss Haling, do you want to enter, or I'm sorry, do you want to waive the appearance?
Yes, Your Honor.
That's 14 CF 4090. And he's alleged to have violated his probation by committing a new law offense of driving without a valid driver's license. His bond is set at none. Good afternoon. Your name?
Cesar Barreras.
Mr. Barres, you're here for an out-of-county warrant from Miami-Dade County. It's for a violation of probation. Your bond is set at none, sir. I will appoint the public defender here in Orange County to help you assist with Miami-Dade.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Your name, sir?
James Moore.
Mr. Moore, this is an out-of-county warrant out of Osceola County, Florida, for a violation of probation. Your bond is set at none, sir. I'll appoint the Orange County Public Defender here to help you coordinate with Osceola County.
All right. Since they're not transporting, I'm gonna have court here.
Maybe. I don't know. Like, that's why I appointed the Orange County Public Defender to help you coordinate. Okay?
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Is there anything else from the state or the defense?
Nothing further, Your Honor.
Court will be in recess.